Jessica Parker, 29, night shift waitress at Danny's Diner, had exactly $28 in her checking account. Her rent, $825, was due in 18 hours, when a frail homeless man collapsed at table 7, clutching his chest, begging for food. Jessica gave him her only meal, the dinner she'd saved for herself. What Jessica didn't know, that man was watching her. 72 hours later, everything changed. Jessica's bank account, $28. Her rent, $825 due by noon tomorrow. The late fee, $150 she couldn't afford. Her car had been repossessed 11 days ago. 3 missed payments, $1,847 in debt. She worked double shifts, 16 hours a day, 6 days a week, for $2.13 an hour plus tips. Some nights she made $40. Most nights, $15. She ate one meal every 48 hours. Tonight was her meal night. 6 months ago, Jessica had a college degree and a marketing job. Then her father got sick. Pancreatic cancer, stage 4, no insurance. She'd quit everything to care for him. He died 3 weeks ago, leaving her with $127,000 in medical debt and nothing else. Wednesday night, 11:23 p.m. Danny's Diner on Route 9, nearly empty. Jessica carried her dinner to the back. Meatloaf, cold mashed potatoes, stale bread. That's when she heard the crash. Table 7, an elderly man, maybe 68, had collapsed, shaking, gasping. What Jessica did next would cost her everything. Jessica stared at her plate, the only food she'd have for 2 days. The man's ribs showed through his torn coat. His lips were blue. "Please," he whispered, "anything. I haven't eaten in 4 days." Her stomach twisted with hunger, but she knelt beside him. "Here," she said softly, setting the plate in front of him. "Take your time." His weathered hands trembled as he lifted the fork. Jessica walked to the kitchen, empty-handed, dizzy. She leaned against the wall, pressing her palm to her hollow stomach. She'd given away her last meal, but watching him eat, she couldn't regret it. That decision would destroy her life in ways she never imagined. The next morning, 11 a.m. Jessica stood outside her apartment. The eviction notice was already posted. Bright orange paper, official seal. She was 18 hours late. The landlord wouldn't answer calls. Everything she owned was locked inside. Her manager, Frank, had called twice. "Where are you? You missed opening shift. That's your final warning." The homeless man's face flashed in her mind, the tears in his eyes when he'd said thank you. That had to count for something. Day 2. Jessica slept on a bench outside the diner. 29 degrees. She wrapped herself in newspaper. Her phone battery died. No charger, no car, no apartment, no food for 51 hours. Her hands shook from hunger. She'd saved a stranger's life and lost her own. Frank fired her that afternoon. "You're unreliable. I'm done." But a customer, an elderly woman named Marie, left a $10 tip. "For you, honey, hang in there. Day 3. A black Mercedes pulled up outside the diner. A woman in a business suit stepped out. She walked directly to Jessica. "Jessica Parker?" "Professional. Direct. I need you to come with me. Now. It's urgent." What Jessica was about to discover would change everything she thought she knew. If this story is touching your heart, please subscribe to Everyday Kindness Stories and hit that bell icon. We share these stories to prove good people still exist in this world. What happens next will absolutely blow your mind. The man Jessica helped wasn't who she thought. The building was downtown. Glass tower, 38 floors. Jessica rode the elevator in her stained uniform. Top floor, corner office with floor-to-ceiling windows. And there he was, the homeless man from table 7. But he wasn't homeless. He wore a tailored navy suit, clean-shaven, silver cufflinks. He stood when she entered. "Jessica Parker, thank you for coming. My name is Richard Morrison. I'm the founder of Morrison Global Investments, worth $2.4 billion. For the past 3 years, I've been conducting an experiment. 312 establishments. 312 nights. I pose as homeless, starving, desperate. I watch who helps, who ignores me. You were the first person in 3 years, 1,096 nights, who gave up their own meal when they were starving themselves. My wife died 4 years ago. Hunger. We were homeless once. I've been searching for someone who truly understands sacrifice. What Mr. Morrison offered next would seem impossible. I'm offering you a position, Richard said, sliding a folder across his desk. Director of Community Outreach for the Morrison Foundation. Your job, find people drowning in debt, poverty, medical bills. Help them rebuild. Salary $95,000 per year, starting immediately. Jessica's breath caught. Your father's medical debt, all $127,000. I'm paying it. Today, your car repossession, $1,847. Cleared. And this. He handed her an envelope. Inside, a check for $50,000. First year's housing, food, everything you need to start over. Jessica's vision blurred. Tears streamed down her face. Her legs buckled. She gripped the desk. Why me? She whispered. Richard's eyes softened. Because you gave your last meal to a stranger when you were starving. That's not kindness, Jessica. That's humanity. That's what the world needs. But the story doesn't end there. 2 years later, Jessica Parker, 31, Director of Community Outreach at Morrison Foundation. She'd helped 2,847 families escape poverty. $67 million distributed. Medical debt erased. Rent paid. Cars returned. Futures restored. She kept the stained uniform from that night in her office, framed, mounted on the wall. A plaque beneath it read, the uniform that started it all. One meal, one choice. One stranger's life saved led to thousands more. Jessica visited Danny's Diner every Wednesday at 11:23 p.m. Same table, table 7. She'd buy meals for anyone who came in hungry, no questions asked. She'd served 418 people in 2 years. Richard joined her sometimes. They'd sit quietly, watching strangers eat, watching kindness. Jessica had lost everything that night. Her meal, her apartment, her job, her dignity. But she'd gained something worth infinitely more. Purpose. Proof that sacrifice, even when it costs everything, plants seeds that grow into forests. Richard was right. Jessica hadn't just saved a stranger's life. She'd saved thousands, starting with her own. Kindness is never wasted. It might cost you everything, the moment. But somewhere, somehow, it multiplies. Good people still exist. You just witnessed one. If this story moved you, please subscribe to Everyday Kindness Stories. Hit that bell so you never miss proof that humanity is beautiful. Next time, we'll share the story of a broke student who gave his last $5 to a stranger. What happened 3 weeks later will restore your faith in everything. Thank you for watching. See you in the next one.